On this episode of AV Week, the pent-up demand for in-person events and how that's going to impact us, the effects of the latest CARES Act on the economics of the industry, and looking at real-time translation and AI. All that and more next on AV Week.
The network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
is AV.
This
is AVNation.
This is AVNation.
This is AV Week, episode 502, recorded Friday, April 2nd, 2021. Phygital.
Support for AVNation is brought to you by
Extron, industry-leading technology backed by world-class support.
And by Daylight, the leading producer of high-quality projection screens worldwide. And by Chief, the global leader in commercial AV mounting solutions.
This is AV Week, your weekly wrap-up of audio-visual news and information. My name is Tim Albright. I am your host. With us to discuss the news and information we have gathered this week, we have an all-star cast. First and foremost, Charmaine Torella from New York City, also our friends over at Barracks. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, and hello.
We will stay in the great Empire State and the Empire City. Dan Friese is also in New York, works for Sound and Communications Magazine. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. And last but not least, a young man that I still keep trying to get on, and has too much fun over there at Herman. Chris Beyonce, welcome, sir.
Well, thank you, and thank you for the young man comment.
No, it's all relative, dude. It is all relative. All right, first story comes to us from actually our website. PS9 Global Alliance was their Super Summit was this week. Full disclosure, I was there. I host the event, MC the event. And it was interesting because Chris and Tommy and Haley Klein, great group of folks over there, they put on a more than 24-hour event. And I'll put it this way, because PS9 has grown globally. They did a section in APAC, and then they time shifted, and then a section in EMEA, and then a section in the Western Hemisphere, basically, right? You've got North America and South America. But that part is really important because one of their vendors, one of their partners, is a company called Williams AV, and Williams has a new product out called Convey Video. This is what it does, and it's translation and it's closed captioning, right? Nothing crazy new there, right? We've been doing that for you. However, it's in real time, and it's in multi languages. So that right there it is what really got me. And so if you were watching if you were able to see this in action, and you can go, I'm sure you can find a Williams rep, but it's leveraging Google AI and darn near perfect. It's obviously there's some lag time because you got to go up to the cloud, you got to come down, but it is really, really slick. Charmaine, this is using some AI as well as obviously some machine learning, the same algorithms that Google's been messing around with for a number of years, both with their technology for smart speakers and learning, kind of the languages. Where else do we see, Charmaine, AI being leveraged? And what do we think about this kind of real-time translation tool?
Hey, AI is being leveraged with a lot of enterprises nowadays. Now, I worked at another previous integrator that did the United Nations integration, right? Which we had to integrate translation boxes and rooms to translate for those different emissaries that would come for the General Assembly. And it was very costly. A lot of companies now are looking to do something like that and find a more cost-effective way. And when I saw this, I was like, I'm glad that this is here, because now a lot of clients are asking questions. Oh, what about this? You have a lot of enterprise clients with a big global presence, especially in the pharmaceutical world. They're looking to do something like this. That's going to be huge to the financials. So those types of industries that have a huge presence across the world and would like to do this not only for their internal staffers, but also for the supply chain and the people they manage outside. So this is going to have a very heavy, people are going to, and it's using, the engine is Google. Need I say more? Everybody knows that when you go to translate something, most people go to Google Translate anyway, and it's one of the most effective AIs in terms of translation. And this is just a sweet way of utilizing that engine in a cost-effective manner to create this solution. So I see so much promise in this. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of questions after this and as to how we're going to do this for our organization. So.
Yeah. Dan, talk for a second about the number of organizations that are trying to expand globally. You know, obviously, PS9 has done that. You have the Global Alliance that are doing GPA that is expanding globally. And then you have companies like AVIXPL and HB Communications and some others that are also expanding globally. And they're following their clients, right? Certainly, and supporting their clients. But they're also, once they get to the country that they're not originally from, they're finding other clients as well. Talk for a second about something that Charmaine that said there about being able to utilize this for translation and to support customers and clients that in countries that maybe you're not a native speaker.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's absolutely applicable to that kind of situation. And you, much like me, probably are inundated with emails talking about organizations expanding outward, as you say, striking up strategic partnerships with distributors or manufacturing, et cetera, expanding their global footprint. And I think this is certainly ACEs for that. And I was looking in particular at the coverage you did, 27 languages, 70 plus dialects, 94% accuracy. These are really eye-popping numbers. And whether you are an integrator who is looking to expand, as you say, into countries with non-English speakers where you need to be able to communicate in virtual real time without a whole lot of lag, without a delay, without having to hire a human translator to do it in real time, which obviously is much more expensive. I think this it's tremendously useful.
Yeah. Chris, Herman has been part of ADI for about 6-9 months now.
Actually 13 months.
13 months. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah. Sorry, dude. 2020 was anyhow.
Yeah, it's gone.
It was so long ago. 13 months. Good Lord. You guys are a multinational corporation as well. Talk for a second, both internally, but also ways that you can help your clients, put this into their client systems.
So, it's so this is the first time I've actually heard about this particular product, and I'm like just blown away by the capabilities because, the AV industry hasn't really stepped into the world of AI just yet, so this to me might be something that starts, much more of a bigger trend, so to speak, which is going to be interesting. For our own company, it'll be pretty interesting because again, we operate in 19 different countries. And I've been on numerous calls where, fortunately, it seems everybody's learned English in our organization, or at least the ones that at least take the phone calls. But I'm sure, as we continue to expand and grow, ADI, obviously their global focus has been around the security, world, but now with, acquiring us and wanting to push on the AV side of the business, we will see in the future, some growth as far as international play as well. So, it's going to be an interesting ride the next few years, watching what AI and how it transforms the AV industry.
Well, and there's a larger conversation there, and I've referred to myself as a big dumb American for a number of years because that's just kind of how I feel. I understand what I don't know, right? And as I've gotten to been blessed to connect with other members of the AV industry from around the world, it is remarkable how many different languages folks who are not in the U.S. Do indeed speak. And thankfully, they landed on English because otherwise, those of us who do travel the world would have to learn other languages. Now, I'm in the middle of Spanish, but I'm also knock on wood. I'm starting Mandarin Chinese. And I said I'd started. Basically, I bought the Rosetta Stone, subscription for it, and I've gone through 2 lessons. But yeah, I mean, we are very blessed and thankful here in the U.S., but that people did happen to learn and land on English. Thanks so much for watching this first segment of AV Week. To check out the rest of the episode for free, click on the link below or go by the website, avnation.tv. It's avnation.tv.